Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Tate no Yusha no Nariagara, Season 2, Episode 10, or just Shield Hero, is how I like to say it. But, anyway, last time we saved Philo, which was good. It's good to have her safe and everything. And Raphtalia is just playing in the snow. Everything's gonna be fine. No one's gonna get hurt. So, let's just start. Alrighty, we're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. It's a whole prison, huh? Yeah. I figured this was gonna happen. How does he have so much power in this world? Alright. Ooh. Safe and strength. Is this Lark? It is. Okay. Eh? Nice. That's a fun way to open it. Cool. I've been saying it in a few of my videos, but I'm both ashamed but happy I'm getting it fixed. For any of you guys who may watch my reactions enough to pay attention, I have a black spot between my two front teeth. And I set a dentist appointment, but because I haven't been to the dentist in so long, they treated me like a new. Well, it was a new place that I had to go to because it's been so long. But but they had me as a new customer, which meant I didn't get any kind of priority or anything. So it took me 3 months to get a damn appointment. So, but I finally had it, and I'm gonna be getting it fixed. It is a cavity, so I actually have quite a few cavities due to not going to the dentist in over 10 years. But they actually said my teeth look pretty damn good for being over 10 years since I've been to a dentist. So I need to start taking better care of my mouth. Go to the dentist, guys. It's important. Don't be like me. But yeah, you can see it. I'm excited to have it fixed. Yeah. I like Lark. I hope, like, someday we can come together and not do this fighting shiznit. So they know about it. Hmm. Sharing intel. Hmm. Okay. Cool. So, doesn't seem like I've always been worried that Kizuno was gonna be like a secret bad guy or something, and I was thinking like, oh, when they find out, they might be like, oh no, she's free. But good. Hmm. Oh. So even when you're not touching the gates, it drains your power. Oh. Interesting. Ooh. Jeez. Well, that was easy. Okay, so we're gonna see what happened. Ah. Oh, and then she's the one that blasted the wall. Nice. Funny thing is I was like briefly thinking to myself, her invis stuff maybe, and then they just blasted a hole in the wall, and I was like, oh, or that. So I didn't even like mention it. Oh, nice. Level up. Money. You got some new outfits. Oh, I guess I was talking about how where was it? Where'd they talk about it? Jewel people as a race. I talked about how they don't really look much different than humans, but is her jewel like embedded in her head? I always thought it was just a part of her like armor.
This is like the exact reason why Naofumi didn't want to team up with them, because he didn't want to get this, little connections that Raphtalia is making right now. Ah, yes, that's right. About to be born. Let's ignore that question and move on. So how does one be born? Oh, it's like King Arthur and like the Sword and the Stone and everything, right? You have to walk up and pull the sword out if you're worthy. Nice. That's fun. What if Kyo walks up and takes it and like gets a second vassal weapon and they're gonna be like, no, impossible. Or it's gonna be this guy. That was my other thought. Did they somehow rig it? Whoa, Raphtalia! It just warped into her hands? Oh shit! That's a much better development than I thought. So she's a vassal weapon wielder now, maybe? Is it, like, confirmed? Or does she have to, like, sign a contract? Oh, the slave crest! That's why... Okay, so this is the point where Naofumi is like, Raphtalia, right? Hmm. Doesn't want to bother them with this, maybe? I don't know. Oh! She get bigger! Maybe they won't recognize her because she's bigger? I don't know. That'd be a very anime thing, wouldn't it? Okay, I don't think she's back to her normal size, right? Or is she? I wonder what made her grow. Did, like, wielding the vassal weapon make her gain levels or something?
She keeps tripping. Just not used to... I mean, it makes sense not being accustomed to the size of your body, right? Is she gonna help? Ugh. Oh, Jesus. This is why they made her get bigger. Well, if that's the fan service they're gonna give us, I'd rather that than her being, like, tortured weirdly by Kyo. Ooh. Oh, this guy. Wait, you look taller. Oh. Yes. I'm so glad I didn't pick him. Here we go, baby. Let's go, Raphtalia. Oh. Ooh. She cut his magic? Kitties. Hmm. If it's a beast, not a person, will she be able to go a little harder? Holy shit! Okay, yep, she went a little harder. I think she might be back to her normal size. Oh, I love when characters just like teleport past. Ah, I'm an asshole. I want to screw him over. You didn't put that together before? Oi! Oh, another one. Maybe this won't be a bad one. That birdie again. Lark and them's gonna show up, aren't they? Yeah, someone is. It's either gonna be Lark or it's gonna be, No, what if that's Philo in her little bird form? Yup. It was Philo in her little bird form flying around, wasn't it? Oh. Oh, that didn't do much. Here we go. Ting! Oh, never mind. Last time she wrapped the string around it and then she, like, flicked it and it, like... I wonder what Kizuna's gonna think about her being bigger. Hasn't even said anything yet. Pat her on the head. Give her head pats. Damn it. Oh, nice. I guess. Alright, cool. What I was thinking about was, I guess Kizuna knows that Raphtalia used to be bigger, right? Like, when they told her, I think in the prison they talked about it. So I guess, like, it just wasn't too much of a shock. I still would have thought she'd say something. Maybe she still will. Maybe it'll be next episode. Maybe they just ran out of time for what they wanted to show here in this episode, you know? But I'm surprised we didn't get a moment from Kizu, because everyone else is used to seeing Raphtalia, like, bigger. But people in this world, it should be, like, a pretty big shock, you know? Like, whoa. Because, it's not a thing in this world where you, like, get stronger as you level and stuff like that, but... So, does that mean Raphtalia got all of her levels back that they had in the other world? Is that what the vassal weapon did for her? I'm kind of curious about that, but... Interesting. Now, vassal weapon wielders don't have the same restrictions of, like... Because, like, cardinal weapons, you're not allowed to party with other cardinal weapon wielders, right? But can Naofumi still party with Raphtalia now that she's a vassal weapon wielder? Since it's different a bit? I don't know. But that is it, guys, for episode 10. Man, it was good. I really like this episode. I'm really glad we didn't get any, like, weird, creepy prison shit. Props to the show. Granted, we did get a fan service moment with Raphtalia, but I much prefer that than, like, I've seen plenty of anime, and plenty of them have done that, like, weird, creepy guy who kidnaps the girl, like, that's part of the main group of like, heroes or whatever, and they have her, like, strung up in the prison, like, naked or something, like, whipping her, and it's, like, one of those, like, weird scenes where they're, like, showing you the girl, like, practically naked, you know, and everything, but then they're doing these terrible things to her, and it's, like, I feel weird, you know, watching this, but, you know, I much prefer they go with the normal fan service route like they did here. And it wasn't even that long and everything, so I have to give props to this show for not doing too much fan service. I very much appreciate that. Like we had what like I'm trying to think of season one's fan service moments. We had like the bath episode where they like stopped at a hot spring or something like that. Um, I think that was like the extent. That one was a kind of long scene because Raphtalia was like sitting there thinking about Naofumi the whole time, you know, and she was like going from like standing up to sitting down with the like hair covering her boobs barely and everything, you know. But anyway, that's the only episode I think that I can recall where there was fan service in season one too. So yeah, props to it, especially because I feel like with this kind of genre, when you dip into like the fantasy world kind of genre, I feel like it's very easy to throw a bunch of fan service in because it you know, I'm sure for some people it pleases that like wish of like, oh, I want to go into another world, like kind of like what Naofumi did in the very first episode, right? Is he I'm pretty sure this was the anime where in like the first episode of the first two episodes he said something along the lines of like, oh, you know, now that I'm in this fantasy world, I can meet girls and explore and stuff like that. You know, I feel like whenever these characters go to these fantasy worlds in these isekai anime, they always have an urge to like meet girls or like, oh, I didn't have any luck with girls in my other life, maybe I'll have better luck here, kind of thing. And I think that's trying to like translate that feeling to the audience too. But regardless, enough about that kind of stuff, because we had a great episode, um, mainly focused on Raphtalia and Lark and them for like the vast majority of the episode, and that was really cool. It unfortunately, what it does for me is it makes me really like Lark and them even more now, you know, and that's what they're trying to do, you know. Every time we see them, they endear us to the characters. Even when we're fighting them, it doesn't feel like I hate them like I do Kyo or anything, you know. But yeah, them coming back to this world was a trap by Kyo. They got locked up. They really made a mistake putting Raphtalia in the same prison cell as them. Very, very convenient, now that I think about it, you know? Like, with all those prison cells there, they put her in the same exact one as the people that they know from another world. It seems... Obviously, that's one of those, like, I feel like anime coincidences or something, because, like, why would they do that on purpose, you know? Unless it comes out that all this, like, breaking out and everything was all part of their plan. But I can't imagine Kyo planned around having Raphtalia go in that same cell, then break out, her go, like, near the area where the katana vassal weapon is being chosen and her to be chosen. It doesn't seem like I have a feeling he didn't plan on Raphtalia being chosen for that either, you know? So, I don't know. Anyway. So you can't take a vassal weapon from its wielder, so that's why they still had their weapons while they were in prison. That's interesting. I guess, it's just a very similar thing to the Cardinal Heroes, so I wonder if, like, the way the Cardinal Heroes started, like, maybe the vassal weapons are, like, older than the Cardinal weapons, you know? Because it feels like cardinal weapons or vassal weapons work a lot of the same way as the cardinal weapons. I'm just trying to think of like what's the difference then, you know, like where do they draw that line? Like they can't be taken. They say that it kind of whispers to them. Now I don't know that we've really had that. I mean, other than the rage shield from Naofumi, you know, I don't know if we've had any kind of like communication between like the weapon and the wielder for the cardinal weapons. So it almost kind of feels like summoning people from another world to wield these cardinal weapons almost feels like a bastardization of what the vassal weapons are, you know, to try to create more fighters kind of thing. But I don't know. Obviously I feel like we're seasons and seasons away from those kind of answers if we ever get them, you know. But But I just thought that was interesting. Like so many parallels and everything between the vassal weapons and the cardinal weapons. It just I just sit here and have to wonder, you know. But we got to see the creation of a new vassal weapon wielder, which is interesting. So I guess that sword is. I wonder if there's like a indication, because they seem to know. They seem to know that someone that day was gonna be born as the new katana wielder, but they didn't know who it was gonna be because it needed to be someone worthy, and the sword had to pick. So how did they know that someone was gonna be picked that day? What if everyone who tried wasn't the chosen one, you know? Um, and I guess, I mean, maybe there's some kind of countdown. Like, maybe there's some kind of, like, fate kind of thing in this world where, like, it was destined to happen this way, and kind of like how the waves come in, there was a countdown to being, like, in 10 minutes, you know? It's going to be chosen, and the world just knew that Raphtalia was going to be in that area at that time, kind of thing. I don't know. But yeah, I'm curious how they knew. And by her getting that weapon was when her slave crest vanished, which I think is when Naofumi like freaked out last episode and was like, Raphtalia, you know, and like started panicking, you know. Must have been when she got the vassal weapon, I think. And then this episode was us catching all the way up to that point. They didn't make it super clear though, really. I mean, I guess they didn't need to, right? Um, because we saw like Naofumi. I'm just surprised that they didn't do a little thing of like when the slave crest faded, we jumped to Naofumi briefly just to show us that same scene we saw in the last episode of him being like, oh, like Raphtalia kind of thing. But I guess it's just left to be like, hey, dum dums, figure it out, you know, which is fine. I sometimes do prefer that, is when they don't handhold you. It's like weird because I sometimes in storytelling I both like my hand to be held, but also not too much, you know? Like I hate when a show is so obscure with some things that it takes like a lot more analyzing and everything to figure it out. Like that's one thing I really liked ReZero, but I felt like there were so many like subtleties and little like devices where they'll tell you something like 12 episodes prior, and then when like that little hint comes to fruition, they don't remind you about the little hint or anything. And sometimes they just don't even, like, one of the things I had no idea is that like in ReZero, slight spoilers for season 2 if you haven't seen it yet, you get to see what's her name, Amelia got to see Echidna's face in the graveyard after everything, and she didn't recognize who it was in the graveyard. And I was like, that's Echidna, you know, like what? She's in the same dress, she has the same hair color, but apparently the face looked different, and I was just supposed to pick up on it. And I guess I'm just really bad with anime faces because I had no idea. And since the anime didn't like hold your hand a little bit more and like really explain that to you, I missed that entire plot line of like the fact that in like the little magical space that she keeps you in, she has a different face than in the real world, kind of hinting at the whole like soul transfer kind of thing that they were doing. And I missed like an entire plot device during that reaction and everything, and just didn't even pick up on it, you know. So like little, and there was like a lot of things like that in ReZero where I just completely did not realize. And like some of the stuff people told me in the comments, other stuff no one told me, and I figured out after I finished the show. And honestly, I would not be surprised if there's still a like handful of things that I don't know about that show, you know. And like, so mysteries are good, I do like them, but I feel like sometimes you do need to be a little bit more clear when you're revealing things to people, or else like the people who aren't like analyzing every episode deeply aren't going to pick up on it, you know. But either way, I don't even know what oh yeah, I was talking about the whole slave crest thing. I was like, I don't even know why I got started on that tangent. I've been going on tangents this episode. But yeah, the slave crest vanishing. I imagine that correlates to last episode, but yeah, I'm super curious about how this is gonna affect Raphtalia and Naofumi's relationship with Raphtalia being a vassal wielder. Can she easily just leave? Can she just go back to their world now that she's a vassal weapon wielder of this world? Like, are we gonna have some kind of like possible drama of like Raphtalia needing to choose or maybe needing to stay here? You know, I wonder how that works because we know that Lark and all them, they've come to our world and stayed there for a decent chunk of time, but is there like a limit to like when they do have to go back, you know? I wonder how that works with her becoming a vassal weapon wielder in this world and then going back to that world. I imagine we have to somehow address that, you know? I mean, I guess they could not address it and they could just go back to their world and everything's fine, you know? And then I'll just be like, okay, I guess it doesn't matter, you know? But anyway. Interesting. But I'm so very glad that, because I feel like everything's been going right for these, like between Kyo and this other guy. Did I even write his name down? I don't even remember his name. I don't even think I wrote it down, to be completely honest with you. Doop-a-doo, doop-a-doo. Yeah, I don't think I wrote his name down. My bad. I don't even know if we got his name. They called him like a genius excuse me. I think they called him like a genius mage or something like that, but I don't know that we got a name. We probably did, and I'm just stupid and didn't write it down. But yeah, I'm really glad, like, because since the beginning, Kyo has been a step ahead, and by extension, this guy, following a lot of Kyo's orders and everything, has been a step ahead. And it hasn't felt like we've had that, like, oh, get wrecked moment. Like, even when we defeated him, or kind of semi-defeated him, made him, like, flee back into the other dimension, back with the Spirit Tortoise, I still didn't feel like that was, like, a win. He still, like, seemed like he had plans and everything. He wasn't like defeated or anything. So it's like seeing this guy here be like not get the vassal weapon was like just so cathartic, you know? Like I really liked seeing that because they've just been winning after winning after winning, and finally seeing them take an L was just great. I loved it. But bug, go away. But yeah, I mean, honestly, other than that, I think that's all I really have to say for this episode. It was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed this one. It was really fun following Raphtalia and Lark and them and seeing them spend time together. And as I said during the reaction, I think this is exactly why Naofumi didn't want to team up with them, because he would get closer to them. He knows that he like kind of likes them, you know. If things were different at all, they could have been friends kind of thing, you know, but because they, you know, have this goal to destroy their world, they can't be. So and you can see exactly that here with Raphtalia kind of getting closer to them and everything. But and they never really explained why she ran away from them. My only thought is that she did it to protect them, kind of thing, where like, oh, the guards are going to be after me even more now. If they stay with me, they're going to be in danger. So I'm just going to go off on my own and deal with this myself, kind of thing. I could be wrong. Maybe it's more along the lines of like the whole deal where they're not supposed to, like, they just have like a brief alliance. They're not supposed to be, you know, becoming best friends. And maybe she realized, like, similar to what Naofumi was realizing, is that if she spends too much time with them, she's going to get too attached. But I think it's more likely that she left them to protect them, kind of thing. Make it so they, like, her problems didn't become their problems. But yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more from me. The link is in the description below, or it should be popping up on the screen, where I have early access for some of my other shows, not for this one since I watch this as it airs, but and also Patreon exclusive stuff where I'm watching shows like Lucifer, and I just started Mob Psycho season 2, and I have like all of Tribe 9 on there that hasn't been released to YouTube yet. So check all that out if you want some special content from me while also supporting what I do here. Very much appreciate it. So yeah, guys, I'll see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.